Hello, students. Welcome back to English 2 class for 10th class students. I'm your teacher Manpreet Kaur, and today we are going to discuss about the poem that is poem number 8 in your book, The Patriot. The Patriot is written by Robert Browning, who is considered as a famous poet of Victorian age. He perfected a poetic form known as dramatic monologue. Now, let us see what is dramatic monologue. It is a poem or any other piece of work in which one character speaks throughout, but the presence of one or more characters is felt. So, dramatic monologue means when one person speaks and we can feel that there are some more listeners present around. Okay, and in many of the Shakespeare dramas also, or in other dramas also, dramatic monologue is considered very important because it conveys the inner feelings of the speaker. Okay, so he seems to be speaking alone, but there the presence of the listeners is also felt. Now, in the poem The Patriot, so it is written in the form of a dramatic monologue. Then, number two, it comments on fickle mindedness of people. That people are fickle minded, they believe whatever they see. Okay, they do not think critically. So, as whatever they see, they just believe that. Then, it is influenced by Browning's experience of rise and fall of heroes in Italy's premature struggle. So, to free herself from Austria. So, there was a struggle when Italy was struggling under Austria's rule, and so she wanted to be free of any rule. So, at that time, at that moment, there was a rise and fall of heroes. Okay, the heroes, the soldiers, they were the commanders, they were doing a great job to free Italy from Austria's foundations, but so it took a long time. That is the time period of 1841 when it started up to 49. So it tells us about the rise and fall of the heroes, those who fought for the freedom of Italy. It tells the story of a man who is led to the gallows, who recounts his tale. Number 5, the six stanzas are numbered. So, in this poem, there are 6 stanzas and they are numbered using Roman numbers. So, it means 6 chapters. So, it is Browning's own style of writing. Now, in this poem, we will also have we should also have the knowledge about the story of Icarus. So let me just tell you that Icarus and Daedalus. So Daedalus is Icarus' father. So they both were imprisoned. They were imprisoned by King Minos in a labyrinth. Okay, so they both were punished by King Minos, and they were kept, instead of a jail, they were kept in a labyrinth, a maze, जिसको भूल भुलैया बोलते हैं. So Icarus and Daedalus, they planned to make pairs of wings so that they can fly out of the maze. So Icarus and his father, they made the wings using the wood and wax. Now they were able to go away from the maze, they were able to fly, but while flying, Icarus became over ambitious. He wanted to fly higher and higher, but because of the rays of sun, he was going close towards the sun. He wanted to conquer it, but what happened is, as he started moving towards the sun, his wings, which was made up of wax and wood, so wax started melting, and as a result, he fell down and he died. Okay, so fall of Icarus is also a reference is given in the poem The Patriot. Now let us come to the poem. So the first Roman number which is given means the first chapter here. It was roses, roses all the way, with myrtle mixed in my path like mad. The house roofs seemed to heave and sway, the church spires flamed. Such flags they had a year ago on this very day. So, the patriot, the person who was just moving towards the gallows, who was going to be um, hanged till death for the misdeeds he has done. So he is just remembering that it was roses, roses all the way. So there were roses thrown in his path, with myrtle mixed in my path like mad. So a sweet smelling flower, myrtle, was also mixed in the roses which was thrown in the path of the patriot. Then it shows that to the patriot it looked like the people were mad for him. So that is why there were roses and roses all around, and the flower like myrtle was also mixed in the roses for the sweet fragrance. The house roofs seemed to heave and sway. So because the people, they have gathered to have a look at patriot, so they were just sitting at the house roofs, and because of the weight, the roofs seemed to heave and sway. They just seemed to be just moving because of so much of crowd which was gathered there to have a look at of the patriot. They just wanted to have a glimpse of the hero, the patriot. The church spires flamed. Such flags they had a year ago on this very day. So on the top of the churches, there is a place where the flag is being unfurled. Okay, so there were flags all around over the church spires also, which denoted the victory. Okay, the patriot, he has done a lot for his people, so the flag over there over the church, it seemed that it was flaming because of the flags of the victory a year ago on this very day. So the patriot is remembering what happened an year ago. Okay, so he was just moving towards the gallows because of his misdeeds. Now while moving through the same streets on which he moved a year before, so he's just remembering what happened a year ago. Then chapter number 2. The air broke into a mist with bells. The old walls rocked with the crowd and cries. Had I said, good folk, mere noise repels, but give me your son from yonder skies, they had answered, and afterward, what else? So here the patriot says that the air broke into the. So here the patriot says that the air broke into a mist with bells. So mist means fog. Okay, so the air, the environment, the atmosphere was like foggy because of the ringing of the bells, the church bells, just denoting the triumph or victory of the patriot. Then because of a lot of crowd, because of the ringing of the bells, so the atmosphere around seemed to be misty. The old walls rocked with the crowd and cries. So the old walls of the city, they were shaking with the crowd and the cries of the people. Cries here means they were just appreciating the patriot who has come after a great victory, who has done a lot for them, the people. Had I said, good folk, mere noise repels. So if I had, at that time when the people were mad in love for him, if at that time the patriot, if he had said at that time that good folk, mere noise repels, so if he had said them that the noise which people they were making, that is the sound of appreciation from all around. Okay, if he has the patriot has appreciated the enthusiasm of people, and even if he had asked that bring the sun from the yonder skies, from the faraway skies, if the patriot has asked people to bring for him the sun from the skies, the people would have answered, and afterward what else? People would have brought even sun for him from the yonder skies, and they would have asked the patriot that what else he desires. Okay, so this shows that the crowd, the people, they were mad in love for the patriot. Then the third chapter, the third stanza. Alack, it was I who leaped at the sun to give it my loving friends to keep. Not man could do, have I left undone. And you see my harvest, what I reap, this very day, now a year is run. So, here the patriot says that alack means alas. It is an expression of sorrow. It was I who leaped at the sun. It was I who tried to do something impossible for the people, to give it my loving friends to keep. So, it was I who leaped at the sun. Leaping at the sun means to do something impossible. Okay, now it was I who leaped at the sun. It was I who tried to bring the sun and give it to my loving friends to keep. This is what I have done for my people, something impossible. Not man could do, I have left undone. So a man, being a man like me, I have left nothing undone for these people, and you see my harvest. Now you see what reward I am getting. What I reap this very day, now a year is run. So what have I reaped in my life this day? Now we will be talking about which day he is talking about in the next chapter, the next stanza, that is the fourth one. So he was saying that this my reward which I have harvested by doing something impossible for my people, and now a year is run, means after 1 year this is what my reward is. Then chapter 4. There is nobody on the housetops now, just a palsied few at the windows set, for the best of the sight is all allow. So here the patriot says that after an year, okay, means let me just once give you again an insight. So over here I'm just marking double tick here. So here the patriot is remembering what happened an year before. This is also the remembrance of the past, and now this is what he is thinking, that what is his harvest. Now the present scenario, what is happening actually, which made the patriot to think that what is happening with him it is given in the fourth stanza. So here he says that there is nobody on the housetops now. 1 year before, the people were sitting on the housetops to see the patriot, to have a glimpse of him, but today there is nobody on the housetops, just a palsied few at the windows set. Only a few paralyzed people were sitting at their windows watching him when he was taken away for the execution. For the best of the sight is all allow, and the people, those who were there on the rooftops a year before, now they have come out of their houses to have the best sight of me. How they have come out? Where are they standing now? Let us see. Yes, they are at the shambles gate, or better yet, by the very scaffold's foot I trow. So now the people, to have the best sight of the patriot, they have come at the shambles gate. So the gate leading to the place of execution, जहाँ पे उसको फांसी दी जानी है. Or better yet, or some people, they are not even satisfied by having a glimpse of him at the shambles gate, but they have travelled inside by the very scaffold's foot I trow. So the patriot believes that the people, they have come at the very scaffold's foot, the place which is the closest to the point where the patriot was going to be hanged till death. So scaffold foot here is a platform for execution. And I trope means I believe. I here is the narrator, the patriot. Then in the fifth stanza, the patriot in the fifth stanza says, I go in the rain and more than needs, a rope cuts both my wrists behind. And I think by the feel my forehead bleeds, for they flinch, whoever has a mind stones at me for my ears' misdeeds. Now here the patriot says that I go in rain. It was raining at that time when he was taken towards the place of execution, means at the shambles gate. More than needs, a rope cut both my wrists behind. So he says that his hands were tied at that time, and they were tied so tightly that he felt like the rope was cutting both his wrists. And I think by the feel, and he was thinking by feeling it, that his forehead bleeds. So means the blood was oozing out of his forehead. And what was the reason behind? For they flinch, for the people were throwing, whoever has a mind stones at me for my ears' misdeeds. For his misdeeds done by him in one year. So for that people, the same crowd which was appreciating him a year ago, the same crowd is now throwing stones at him, and he felt that his forehead bleeds. Then, sixth chapter. Thus I entered and thus I go. In triumphs, people have dropped down dead. Paid by the world, what dost thou owe me? God might question. Now instead, it's God shall repay. I am safer so. Now here in the sixth stanza or the sixth chapter, the patriot says that this is how I have entered. So this is, I have entered this city, and now so here he says that that is how I entered the city. Entered when he was appreciated, and this is how I am going, means now he is taken towards the taken for the execution. In triumphs, in victories, people have dropped down dead. So he is leaving the city. The patriot is leaving the city in great humiliation and insult. He is insulted by the people. Paid by the world, what dost thou owe? So he says that he feels like if he had died a year ago, God would not have cared for him. Okay, so he is not paid by the people. So at this point of time, for whatever impossible he has tried to do for his people, now he is not paid by the world. What dost thou owe me? So he is just questioning that this is what the people wanted from me, this is what I deserved. Now God might question. Okay, so he now ends the poem with an optimistic note that there is God Almighty, the ruling power in the world, which who is going to give him all the rewards for his good deeds. So God might question now instead, it's God shall repay, I am safer so. So he says that I am safe in the bosom of God. So he is going to go to heaven. So he knows very well that for whatever the good deeds he has done, he will go to heaven, and God is going to reward him for his good deeds, whatever he has done. Okay. Now up till here we have understood that how the people are fickle minded. Okay, and how they are fickle minded is whatever they saw, whatever they are being told, they believe it as it is without critically analyzing that what actually there is. How that people, those who have appreciated, they were so enthusiastic about the patriot when he entered the city, when he did something unusual for the people, when he fought for him. Being a patriot, he fought for his people, he did impossible, and people appreciated. But at this point of time, means a year After, so what the same people have done is they are just throwing stones at the patriot. They are just cursing him, abusing him, and they are coming very, very close to the scaffolds, the scaffold's foot to have a glimpse of him. And that is why the people are said to be fickle minded. Okay, so this is all about the poem. Thank you, students, and I hope that you will understand it well. Thank you.